Hello again, ladies and gents. Okay, so I asked you to take a peek at the first 6 questions for the Chapter 2 review. So I'm just going to go over those with you. I have these ones partially written out, just so you can see the last little bits of them, because if they're fully written out, I think it's just going to be too confusing for what's going on. So we'll start with number 1. So this one said Silva and Renate were given money in the ratio of 5 to 3. Silva's share was $60. How much did Renate receive? So like I was saying, 5 to 3, you can all, in the textbook, they had it written in ratio form, 5 to 3, but that's the exact same thing as a fraction, okay? So just whichever number they give you first, make that your numerator. So they said Silva and Renate were given it to the money in a 5 to 3 ratio. So that means Silva comes first, Renate comes second, 5 comes first, 3 comes second. And I kept hammering over and over in class, name your ratios so you know which number belongs to what. So we know Silva is represented by 5, Renate's by the 3. Okay. Then it told us Silva's share was $60. So we would say 5 Silva to Renate equals 5 to 3 equals $60. Where does that go? Well, it told us Silva. So we know that the 60 and the 5 all go together. So then we're left with 5 to 3 equals 60 over and a blank here, which is representing how much Renate got in real life. So then we see, okay, what do they do to 5 to get it to go to be 60? If you have your times tables memorized, 5 times 12 is 60. Let's say you don't. Then you can do it backwards. Say, okay, let's do 60 divided by 5, and your calculator will say 12. So you go, okay, well then I know 5 times 12 is 60. So we'll do the same here. 3 times 12 would give us Renate's money, which is 36. Okay. So number 2 said Canada to Greece's gold medals was 1 to 2. And that's the ratio. And then it said together they won a total of 9. Okay. And that's the tricky part about this one, because we haven't seen that in the homework where they say something together. So together they won a total of 9. But that's on the real life side. So we need to figure that out on the ratio side. Together, how many do they have? Well, Canada's 1, Greece is 2, so that's a total of 3 together. So then we have to, the only way to get from the ratio side to real life side is by looking at the totals. So, what do we do to 3 to make it 9? Well, we have to multiply it by 3. So then same things here. So times 3 and times 3. So 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 3 is 6. So in real life, Canada received 3, Greece received 6. And does that give us a total of 9 like the question said? 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, it does. Okay. Down to number 3. Said the St. Croix junior hockey team won 3 out of every 4 games that it played. And they played 56 games. How many did it lose? Okay. So what they've given us is how many games they won out of how many games they played. Okay. So they said 3 out of 4. The team played 56. So again, I did 56 divided by 4, and I found out that it was times 14. So now on my calculator, I'm going to do 3 multiplied by 14 to give me 42 games won. So then you're looking at that in the back of the textbook and going, oh no, I got it wrong. But it's okay, because you just haven't finished yet, because the question says, how many games did it lose? Well, we just have to do a little calculation for that. They played 56 games. They won 42 of them. So 56 subtract 42, 14 games lost. Okay. Number 4. I apologize. I should have spaced this out more. And I'll try to do that better for the future. So we're taking a look at it. It tells us that if you're going to be making punch, the recipe that you're looking at says you're going to be using orange juice and pop in a ratio of 2 to 5. So again, name your ratio. Orange juice to pop, 2 to 5. And it tells us that if you're going to make enough for 7 people, you need 1 liter of pop to make it. So this whole thing's for 7 people. 1 liter, I changed to milliliters. Because if I had it like this, we'd be doing 5. What do we do to 5 to get it to be 1? Well, I divide by 5. I could do 2 divided by 5, but then I'm getting a decimal number. And working with decimal numbers isn't the easiest. So we'll just switch to milliliters. So what do we do to 5 to make it 1,000? Well, same thing if you're not quite sure. 1,000 divided by 5 gives you 200. And then we can do the same here. Okay, times 200. 2 times 2 is 4. Put on the extra 2 zeros. We need 400 milliliters of OJ. So that's enough to make for 7 people. You get 400 mils of OJ, 1,000 mils of pop, and there's punch for 7 people. Let's say you don't have 7 people coming to your party. Let's say you have 15 people coming to your party, like it asks you in question B. How much juice and pop do you make? You could say, well, I could just double my recipe and then I'm just a little bit shy. Well, what if you have 20 people? Again, you could fake it, but why? We did this. We did the whole sections on making a unit rate. So we'll figure out how much juice and pop we need per person. That's the whole idea of a unit rate. Unit rates compare 2 different units, and the second one is usually 1. In this case, it's going to be per person. We have 7 people that this makes the recipe for, so we just divide by 7. So that's what it's doing down here. So we just found out that we need 400 milliliters of OJ, and we're going to break that into 7 equal pieces so that I know how much OJ to make for 1 person. So 400 divided by 7 gives me 57.1. So 57.1 milliliters. I went and did this ahead of time, because we already knew that we had 1,000 milliliters of pop, divided that into 7 equal pieces, I get 143 milliliters. So that's my recipe per person. That much for orange juice, that much for pop for 1 person. So then how much do I need for 15 people? Well, I'm just going to multiply by 15. So 57.1 times 15 equals, for OJ, and again, I'm sorry about the size. I will spread it out better in the future. 856.5 milliliters for pop. I'm doing 143 multiplied by 15 equals 2,145 milliliters. And then we can do the same down here. So here, I'll do them down here. OJ, pop. So for OJ, 57.1 times 20 equals 1,142 milliliters. And pop, 143 times 20 equals 2,860 milliliters. Okay? So, question 5. Getting into scale drawings. So it tells us the picture has a scale of 15 to 1, and they tell you the length of the bug in the picture is 2.5. So remember with scale drawings, whether it's a map, a drawing of a bug, whatever else like that, the scale, they said, was 15 to 1 in a ratio. Again, put in a fraction. Okay, the 15 goes as the numerator. It always, always, always drawing to real life. That never changes. Okay? They don't actually tell you, the 15's the drawing, the 1's the real life. You just have to know that. Okay? Always drawing to real life. And then they said the actual length of, the length of the bug in the picture is 2.5 centimeters. Again, I've changed it to millimeters just because it would end up being, we'd end up dividing and be too small. Okay. So to get 15 to be 2.5, I didn't know what that was, so I did 25 divided by 15, and I got an answer of 1.6 repeating. Again, my calculator said 1.6666666 all the way across. So we'll do the same here. We're going to multiply by 1.6 repeating. So then I get an approximate length of 1.7 millimeters for the bug down in real life size. Very small bug. And of course that's rounded because it should still be, 1 times 1.6 repeating is 1.6 repeating. Last one, still scale drawings. Number 6 says a scale on a map is that 1 centimeter represents 2.5 kilometers in real life. And Vivian drove 45 kilometers. So again, naming your ratios. Drawing to real life. Drawing 1 centimeter on the map represents 2.5 kilometers in real life. Vivian went 45K. So I did 45 divided by 2.5. And I found out that it has, that was multiplied 18 times to get up to there. So doing the same thing here, times 18, don't need the calculator for that. It would be 18 centimeters in the drawing. Okay, so hopefully that cleared anything up. If you're still having problems, again, you can pop on Mathify to try it with a tutor in real life. You can put questions that you have in the comments below, and I'll see if I can answer them for you. Don't comment on the YouTube video. Put your questions into Google Classroom, and I'll notice them there, okay? So I'm going to get you to do up to 11 this time. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Just 11, B, and C are on page 90, okay? And yeah, we'll just keep plugging away at it. Take care.